Okay, let's talk about the idea that people on the left want Trump to fail and they want the country to fail just to hurt Donald Trump. The right has been saying this for a while, and they claim that the leftists, the Democrats, the progressives, the socialists, the Marxists, whatever category, even if it's one that barely exists in the United States, they all want Trump to fail merely to prove and score political points. And of course, I've argued that this is ridiculous for a very long time. I've said before that when Trump fails, we all fail. When Donald Trump is an embarrassment internationally in front of our so-called allies or our previous allies who Donald Trump alienates, we all lose. When other countries stop including the United States in discussions about climate change, doesn't matter whether you voted for Trump or not, we all lose. If Donald Trump fails in North Korea, people could die. And we all lose. If Donald Trump fails on the economy, everybody could end up losing their job or losing their money, regardless of whether you voted for Donald Trump or not. And in the midst of this, we're presented with this reality that the stock market downturn, is it time to call it a crash, continues. And we are now, as of yesterday's closing, down for the year on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The entire year of gains that Donald Trump has been tweeting about has evaporated. You'll notice that the Dow opened on Tuesday, January 2nd, the first trading day of the year, at 24,824 and closed yesterday nearly 300 points below that at 24,583. The S&P 500, which is a broader index than the Dow Jones, likewise closed yesterday down for the year. In the interim, new home sales have dropped to the lowest rate in 2 years. Great timing for me. I just moved. I just have amazing timing, impeccable. I hate this, okay? I didn't vote for Trump. I'm reporting to you what's going on, but trust me, when I log in to my mutual fund account, I feel physical pain. I am not cheering this. I do not want Trump to preside over a crashing stock market. And the idea that there are people on the left hoping that Trump fails in these ways that worsen circumstances for everybody is ridiculous. My most leftist friends who I speak to privately, they didn't vote for Trump. They don't like Trump's policy. They don't agree with his worldview. Not a single one of them is saying, I hope Trump fails on the economy or this or that, because they all want to live in a better place.
I think it depends, though, how you frame it. Like, I want him to succeed when it comes to the economy at large.
But you want him to get voted out.
Things, I don't want his tax cuts to succeed. I don't want his tariffs to succeed because I understand that those are bad for the economy.
You disagree with the agenda and hope he fails to implement it, but that doesn't mean that you're hoping for the country to be worse off. Yeah. We're hoping for the country to be as well off as possible. Now, it's important to mention when it comes to stocks, speculative markets are not a direct indicator of economic health. I say this when stocks are up, when it's a Democrat in the White House, and when stocks are down, when it's a Democrat in the White House, and likewise, whether stocks are up or down when it's a Republican in the White House. The stock market also doesn't affect everyone, and the stock market can move significantly simply based on speculation. That being said, the moves do affect many people. And even if you don't personally own significant amounts of stocks or mutual funds, you might work for a company whose success and ability to keep hiring people and paying people is linked to how things are going in the stock market. And we know that humans generally are not great at predicting the future of stock markets and the future of the economy. We've been talking about the idea that at some point the next pullback is going to happen. There are analysts now saying this is the beginning of it, that this is just the beginning of the fall. Others saying now the stock market has worked out the kinks by giving back all of the gains of 2018, and that from here on out, it's just going to be positive. Doesn't matter. The point is, this does affect a lot of people in different ways. The right deliberately obfuscates, Trump tweets on individual days when stocks are up. Today, we may have a rebound gain, right? By the time people listen to or watch this, we may have had a gain today that would get us a few hundred points above where we started the year. And then there's absolute and total silence on these days where the Dow crashes 400, 600, or 800 points. you've got to look at the broader numbers. You have to understand the context here, but these are not good indicators. The housing market and the stock market right now are not pointing well.
Yeah, it's either utter silence from Trump, or he'll try to blame it on the Fed raising interest rates or something like Hurricane Michael. But at any rate, it's not the fault of him or his policies.
And it's funny because the gains in the stock market, he of course wouldn't attribute to low interest rates, which are decided by the Fed. They would be attributed, in Trump's mind, to his economic policy. And then, of course, as soon as you have these downturns in the stock market, it's because of something the Fed is doing or what somebody else is doing or what's going on with Saudi Arabia and instability in that market, which is affecting ours because, hey, we live in a globalized world and we don't just exist in a silo where our stock market is completely unconnected to what goes on elsewhere in the world. I hope this isn't the beginning of a big crash. I don't want that to be the case. I don't care that Trump will take credit for the gains. I don't want a crash. It's sad when I log into my mutual fund account. That's the reality. What else can I say? Make sure you're following me on Instagram at david.pakman. I'll post some behind-the-scenes pictures of the studio move that is starting to happen after today's show. And you can also follow the show on Instagram at David Pakman Show. We want to get to 10,000 followers on the show account on Instagram. That's the immediate goal. We've got it like 3,200 right now. So we're well on our way.
Yeah.
We will take a quick break. After the break, much awaited, our long-form piece on Jordan Peterson. Stay with us. Today's program is sponsored in part by Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've talked about Blinkist before. It's this awesome app that I've been using for several months now. And what it does is take the best and most critically acclaimed nonfiction books and condenses them into 15-minute audiobooks that you can listen to in one sitting. You could listen to 10 books in an afternoon. I know that many in our audience want to expand their horizons and learn more about all sorts of different topics, but we're mostly limited by time to some degree. I know I'm not able to read all of the books that I want simply because I've got other stuff going on, and that's why Blinkist is such a great tool. You can absorb the most important information and insights from a book in one sitting, and our audience can get a 7-day free trial by going to Blinkist.com/Pakman. If you're watching on YouTube, click the link in the video description. And after that free trial, if you like Blinkist, and I think you are going to like it, you can continue enjoying thousands of condensed audiobooks for about $5 a month. Go to blinkist.com/PAKMAN.